All right, some breaking news coming in at this moment. Shocking news from Amitabh Bachchan, the megastar himself. He has disclosed in a blog that all's not well with his health. Big B has written that his liver is functioning at just 25% capability, but it's not due to alcohol, but because of the accident he had during filming the movie Coolie. The blog says that nearly 60 bottles of blood were pumped into him after his accident, with one carrying the dreaded virus Australian antigen Hep B. That virus has remained in his body and silently eating up his liver. So it's a confession that Amitabh Bachchan has made. In fact, just a short while back, we were reading out portions of that particular blog also, what exactly Amitabh Bachchan has said. And he seemed to suggest that there is a life beyond, the archlights. In fact, just to quickly recap what he actually said, he said the real test for the day comes not from personal confessions, but from confessions beyond a microphone, in studios that record, that bring out the creative juices, that cater to invention at the last note and the joy and ecstasy of its final productivity, enriched and satisfied with the meager progress that is made at the cost of the Sunday meeting. He's saying a number of things about his condition. We've got Roshni Agarwal joining us with more on this. Roshni, did the film industry know all this while about Amitabh Bachchan's health condition? We know for a fact that he has been keeping ill and visiting hospitals on and off.
Yes, Amitabh Bachchan, in fact, on his birthday when we met him, he also mentioned about his health that time, that he has left on everything when it comes to food, and he's taking a lot of precautions when it comes to his health. This, however, was not mentioned before, that, his liver is affected so badly because of one infected, blood sample that was with him when he was injured during the shooting of Coolie. So this is quite a surprise for everyone. Probably his close friends and family must be aware of this state of Amitabh Bachchan, but not everyone. And but even the media is hearing about a 25%. That his liver he's surviving on only 25% of liver, and 75% of his liver is damaged already. And he also mentioned that only alcoholics usually get this suffer from this problem. But he doesn't even drink. So this is a problem that is quite sad, and it's a surprise to everyone, in fact, when it just came out.
Now, Roshni, I'll just read out what he has written in his blog. He says almost 60 collective bottles of blood was pumped into me during my accident in Coolie. Now, it's a very... it's an incident which everybody knows in the film industry. It was widely reported also many decades ago. He then goes on to say, one infusion was carrying the dreaded virus Australian antigen Hep B. It remained in my body and silently ate up my liver. Took away 75% of it until during a routine examination in the mid-2000s, say around 2004 or 5, it was discovered I am now surviving on a 25% liver under constant medication and being labeled as chronic cirrhosis of the liver condition, a condition normally described for alcoholics, but as all know, I do not drink. That's Amitabh Bachchan. Now, Roshni, how surprised is the film industry, or you as a correspondent who covers entertainment, how surprised are you to hear this particular information?
Yes, Sankesh, that's exactly what I was also discussing before you read this out. You know, it's quite a big surprise because Amitabh Bachchan is such a health conscious person. He's so healthy. He doesn't eat junk. He doesn't drink like so many other friends from the industry of Mr. Bachchan are into parties and everything. He's so much into fitness even today, and he's active with it when it comes to his work also. But it's quite a surprise that he has mentioned that it's only 25% functional now. And it's a big surprise to us also in the media, as well as I'm sure a lot of his industry friends, which we are yet to talk to.
Okay, Roshni, do stay on with us. We've got Dr. Sanjeev Bagai also joining us. Dr. Bagai, I don't know whether you were able to read that blog or hear this broadcast about his condition. How serious is the condition? And if you want, for your benefit, I can read out what he has written.
No, that's fine. in that era of 1980s, blood screening for viral infections was not that obvious and not followed that stringently. So unfortunately, if he's contracted this infection, it's a long, never-ending damage to the hepatic tissue, that's the liver tissue. And over a period of time, a patient does lose major part of the liver function and does develop cirrhosis. The risk of long-term hepatitis B and cirrhosis is towards liver cancer. Almost 20 to 30% of patients long-term are at risk for developing this. And if patients need to survive beyond the stage in which the liver can sustain the body function, then you have to look at liver transplant.
So are you suggesting, Dr. Bagai, are you suggesting that if this condition of the megastar Amitabh Bachchan continues, then this liver transplant will have to be one of the possibilities that he might have to consider?
Yeah, cirrhosis is, it pans out in different ways and different severities and different onset duration progress. If the patient is clinically stable and not deteriorating, obviously we don't jump into anything aggressive or interventional. But if we feel that the patient's life is not being sustained by the little bit of liver which is left as normal, then of course we have to intervene for a liver transplant.
But Dr. Bagai, how serious is this condition if Amitabh Bachchan says that this particular virus has taken away 75% of his liver, and it has been discovered in 2005 that he was surviving only on 25% capability?
Unfortunately, it's not good news. But generally the liver damage takes decades to set in and establish and progress. So it's around now that changes would be seen as far as the liver function test and other parameters are concerned. It much depends upon the severity of the virus. But if he survived for 10 years, it's really good, 10 years or 15 years. But the question is what the clinical picture is and how it is progressing. So there are various kinds of blood tests and markers and immune tests which are done to find out what exactly the condition is, different types of liver scans. But obviously it impacts, one, the quality of life, and two, the length of life.
Dr. Bagai, these were the things that I wanted to ask you about. As far as Amitabh Bachchan is concerned, we know that he's a superstar. He's got a busy schedule of entertaining the people. He's got a number of shows lined up. How is this going to impact his day-to-day life, a condition like this, in the near future?
Yeah, if he's keeping clinically well, he is bound to have a routine life, but with fatigue. I don't think he will have the inherent capacity from age point of view and the medical illness point of view to have a 12-hour, 14-hour beating schedule. But much will depend upon how his liver holds on once the progress really goes into a rapid phase. I think a more authentic opinion can be given once we know what the exact liver function tests and other serology tests are.
Dr. Bagai, many thanks. Appreciate you joining us this morning and explaining to us what the health condition of Amitabh Bachchan, what he has written in that blog, actually means. Now, for the benefit of our viewers, in just a short moment, we'll play on the screen. There you have it. This is the blog that Amitabh Bachchan has written on his website. That's the clip. You can go on his website and see. There's some honest confession. Perhaps Amitabh Bachchan decided to share this with his fans. What his condition actually is. So this is actually the blog that he has written on his website. It says Amitabh Bachchan's official blog, and in that there are details. He starts by talking about the health ministry, government of India, becoming a brand ambassador for the nation under the government of India and the health ministry, of working again with the United Nations and UNICEF. But the very second paragraph, he talks about himself, and that's really one of the most crucial bits that people are going to hang on to. The third paragraph of his blog says, and I want to quote, "But I live and work and play." This is immediately after him revealing what his medical condition is. He says, and I quote, "But I live and work and play and act and conduct normal family activities. Awareness and timely detection has done it for me. It could get worse, for it is in remission now and monitored regularly." So he is in good hands at this moment, as he claims. It's in remission, which is a good news at this moment. But yes, the most disturbing bit here is the fact that he's practically on 25% functionality as far as his liver is concerned. Let's see if we've got Roshni still on the phone line with us. Roshni, can you hear me?
Yes.
Roshni, can you tell us whether the film fraternity even knew? See, everybody knew about this accident. Everybody knew that he has faced a number of health concerns after that particular accident. But the fact that his liver is now on 25% capability.
You know, like I was mentioning earlier, also on his birthday when we met him, he mentioned about not, leaving all food items that affect his health. Otherwise, it also refused to accept any cakes or anything else when it comes to his health. But the point was that he did not mention about this then. He even mentioned that it's not because of any health reason that I'm taking any precautions. It's just generally that I want to be healthy for a long time, entertain everyone for a long time, which is why I'm not accepting a lot of food items. Very careful about my health. So that was also a time when he had an opportunity to talk to the media. In fact, even tell about his problem then, but he did not choose to do that. So that is what I see from here. Probably he's not very open to talking about it in public, and that's why he's not mentioned it before. But now, probably when he was writing his blog for his fans, and he mentioned about few health, health issues, he's probably got talking about this also. So, but it's not usually when he talks about his health and issues.
And also, would you wonder, Roshni, why he chose this as an occasion to reveal this aspect? Because see, he talks about this, him discovering that his liver is on 25% capability in 2005. It's only after 10 long years that the superstar has spoken about this.
If you remember, a lot of times Amitabh Bachchan has been admitted to the hospital, and the media has created a lot of chaos around and inside the hospital also, which is why now he's become a little more private about his health. He did not probably discuss it in the past because it must not be that serious. Now when it is reached 25% and he was writing about health and fitness on the blog, he must have just mentioned this paragraph. But usually he avoids talking about it in public and to the media and any other platform because it becomes it gets blown out of proportion usually, and every time we end up chasing the star or probably asking again and again about his health and problems, which is what probably must be avoiding, which is why he chose to write on the blog.
Okay, Roshni, do stay on with us this one bit. I want to tell our viewers, just recap what is the news that we are breaking at this moment. Now, Amitabh Bachchan this morning has written a blog. That screenshot of the blog is on the right hand side of your screen right now. This is his official website, where he says, and I quote, "Almost 60 collective bottles of blood was pumped into me during my accident in Coolie. One infusion was carrying the dreaded virus Australian antigen Hep B. It remained in my body and silently ate up my liver, took away 75% of it until during a routine examination around 2004 or 5, it was discovered I am now surviving on 25% liver under constant medication and being labeled as chronic cirrhosis of the liver condition, a condition normally described for alcoholics, but as you all know, I do not drink," unquote. Though, and this is the bright side, he says, and I quote, "But I live and work and play and act and conduct normal family activities. Awareness and timely detection has done it for me. It could get worse, for it is in remission now and monitored regularly," unquote. Now, what you see on the left-hand side of your screen is that incident that he is referring to, the Coolie fight scene, which actually led to his health condition deteriorating. You would see that there was a punch there. This is the punch after which Amitabh Bachchan's health condition deteriorated, and that's when, cut to 2015, in his blog, he writes that there were 60 bottles of blood that was pumped into his body after this accident. Remember, at that time, there was a lot of internal bleeding that was taking place in his body. Now he reveals that he is not well. Roshni, my final... Okay, Roshni, before I come across to you, Mr. Raza Murad now joins us on the phone line. Thanks very much, sir, for speaking to India Today. What does this revelation mean to the film industry?
It's quite disturbing and alarming. because Mr. Bachchan has been through, lot of, ailments and hardships. But I would like to say that he has always survived against all the odds. And because he's just not a larger-than-life character on the screen, but even in his personal life behind the camera, he's a larger-than-life person. And he is a fighter. He has fought many battles against different kind of serious ailments and has always emerged as victorious. So definitely we will pray for his health, and he's a survivor, to be precise. He has always survived, and I'm sure that he will also survive this crisis. And but we can pray for him. We have all the good wishes and good words for him, and the whole nation is praying for his speedy recovery. And I can say with confidence that he will completely recover, inshallah.
Mr. Raza Murad, those are very promising words coming from you. You say that he's a fighter, he's a survivor, and he'll survive through this also. And this particular health condition too shall pass as far as the superstar is concerned. But were you surprised to hear this? Did you know anything remotely like this? Because it seems that Amitabh Bachchan learnt about this in 2005. He has chosen to keep it somewhat a secret for the past 10 years.
Not only that, he had revealed this, that he had suffered from tuberculosis also. He has suffered from tuberculosis. He has suffered from myasthenia gravis, and that very serious injury which he suffered on the sets of police, the life-threatening diseases. So this superhuman being has survived so many battles, so many ailments, and I'm sure that he will survive this also. Even at this advanced stage, he's absolutely fit mentally as well as physically. So he is a superhuman being. He's a survivor, and he's going to survive this also.
Mr. Murad, just a final comment from you. That point that you were making about him being a survivor, just want to read out a paragraph, the last paragraph of his blog, and I'm sure you will be in agreement on that point, which you only have made, where Amitabh Bachchan says, and I quote, "The real test for the day comes not from personal confessions, but from confessions beyond a microphone, in studios that record, that bring out the creative juices, that cater to invention at the last note and the joy and ecstasy of its final productivity." So in a way, this is a fine gentleman, a man who has served Indian cinema, who has entertained people for many, many decades, who now feels that he must share his personal anguish after 10 long years of keeping it a secret.
Whatever he has said is totally unlikely of him, because he's the last person to share his sorrows with anybody. He has never done this earlier. So I think it's a welcome change. Now, he's thinking the entire nation as his own family, and he's sharing his worries with all of us. And it's a very welcome change. So I welcome this change also, and it's good, when people come to know about his ailment. There is a saying in Hindi के कई बार दवाओं से दुआओं में असर Friends, he had survived that near fatal accident of 1982, and surely I think it's very nice of him that he's sharing his, personal miseries and difficulties with his fans and with his countrymen.
Mr. Raza Murad, many thanks for joining us this morning on this story. It's quite a revelation by the superstar Amitabh Bachchan himself. In 1982, he received that punch, which you see on your screen right now in the film Coolie. In 2005, he personally learnt about his condition, and in 2015, 10 years later, he's choosing to share it with the people. What sort of reaction will come from the industry, and also the most important constituency as far as Amitabh Bachchan is concerned, his fans? how are they going to react to this is something that is going to remain our top focus here on India Today. We've got Dr. K.K. Agarwal also of the IMA. He's with us. Dr. Agarwal, can you tell us a little about I'm not sure whether you've read this blog or not, but how serious is this condition that he's referring to?
So the question is, there's nothing like seriousness. Question is how to fight out. Anybody, he has gone through thyrotoxicosis, he has gone through surgery, he has gone through septicemia, he has gone through he has gone through a TB, he's gone through asthma, he has gone through diverticulosis, he has gone through hepatitis B. So it only tells us that it is possible to fight a disease. Nobody should lose hope. No, hepatitis B, the very fact it started in 25 years back, that means this is a chronic hepatitis B. Even if his liver is dysfunctional, it is manageable, it can be treated. And lots of options are still available, medicines, liver transplant, lots of things are available. I don't think so we need to talk about that how serious it is. The more important is that even with so many diseases, one can not only survive, but can rule the industry. That's more important with that. And the second message is, public should know that hepatitis B and C are more dangerous than HIV. Transmission of hepatitis B is much easier than HIV. People talk about HIV. Similarly, there should be a hepatitis B prevention program in the country. One should take it that hepatitis, say for the people going for blood sugar examination, finger prick, at all these stages the infection can come. And a message to everybody to take hepatitis B vaccine. If he developed hepatitis B means that before he was shooting for Coolie, he did not take hepatitis B vaccine. So the public message should be, everybody should take hepatitis B vaccine, everybody should take precautions, and everybody should know that even with so many diseases, it is not only possible to survive, but also to rule the industry.
Oh, that's very reassuring. That's very reassuring, Dr. K.K. Agarwal, the fact that you feel that considering the personality called Amitabh Bachchan, who has been a survivor, who has been a fighter, not just in health terms, but remember there was a time in his career when he took a major beating. This is somewhere around late 90s and early 2000s when he was not doing well professionally and he rose like a phoenix. So similarly, Dr. K.K. Agarwal feels that even as far as his medical condition is concerned, the fact that he has that fighter instinct, that survivor instinct, he shall be able to come out of this. Thanks very much, Dr. K.K. Agarwal. We'll stop for a short break at this moment. We'll be back with a lot more news and updates on the other side.
जहाँ तक याद आती रहेगी,